See the nightlife, what they call Atlanta. Southside shows for a couple dollars, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
This is the Brew Party Podcast, episode number 42, our weekly gambling segment. Once again, it is Maloney's Money Line, week number 20 on the Brew Party Podcast. I'm Andy Hopper, the host who doesn't know the most, as always, joined by my guy, Ryan Maloney. Ryan, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well. Can't complain.
The man of many words. Ryan strikes once again. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, Ryan. I know it's not the normal holiday season, but it's getting there. We got some snow finally. That's been kind of cool. I guess I should get this party started. It's got snow and it's cold enough where you can keep your beers outside on your back porch now. No need to take up the room in the fridge. That is one of my favorite times of the year. I got my Busch Lights right outside the back door. Let's talk about our week last week because we finally had a winning week, Ryan. So we finished 10-5-1. I was 5-2-1. I had a push for the first time in quite a while. You finished at 5-3. So for once, you're not 4-4, and for once, I have a winning fucking record. So let's see how we can keep that up. So our record overall after last week goes to 166, 127, and 4. So we're plus 28.38 units last week. Like I said, 10-5. We gained 4 units last week. So that's what we're trying to do, build them up as much as we can, obviously. But it was good. It was nice to have a winning week. I went 3-0 in college football. I don't think I've done that yet. That was fun. But I mean, let's dive a little bit deeper into our records. So Ryan, you're individually kicking my ass still. 86, 60, and 2 plus 19.62 units, right on the cusp of 20 units, trying to get there. If we dive a little bit deeper into Ryan's records here, so you are 9-10 when picking your favorites, 12-7, continue to kill it with your underdogs of the week. You hit on that once again with Minnesota winning outright. And then the overs are 8-10-1 for you. Your unders are also great at 12-7. Your locks the week at 11-8. Your other general picks are 33-19-1. When picking college football, 18-8, just absolutely insane. If you are a college football bettor, you might want to tail Ryan's picks here because he's got some winners, folks. And then your NFL has been awesome as well at 40-31-1. So like I said, 86, 60, and 2. What do you got to do this week to get over 20 units, my guy?
Well, I mean, I was 5-3 last week, hoping to get to 6-2 or 7-1 this week. Hell, maybe even 8-0. Who knows? But I got a few college football picks this week, so hopefully win all 3 of those and keep that record going.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hope so. We've got college football championship week, or conference championship week, I should say. Any games that are sticking out to you? I mean, I already know the answer, I think, here.
Well, I mean, a little bit less than I was looking forward to last week, but yeah, obviously Florida-Bama is going to be a good game. But yeah, I think, we got a lot of good matchups in the conference championship. Notre Dame and Clemson, obviously a rematch that everybody's looking forward to. Probably at least one of the top games of the year so far. So, really looking forward to that game. It should be a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a fun one in the SEC, and when the total for the game is sitting at 74,
Yeah.
So feed me those points in that one. I think there's going to be a lot of good games. I think the MAC championship is going to be pretty fun. Buffalo versus Ball State, a ranked Buffalo team that's averaging 51 points a game with one of the best running backs in the country, and Jarrett Patterson against Ball State. Chirp, chirp. My guys from Ball State will be cheering hard for them. We got a listener comment here. We need to talk about what happened to the Cleveland Browns. Disgusting. Grant, we are going to get to that portion of the show here in just a minute. So let's dive into my records here real quick, and then we will get in to that Monday Night Football game and what happened last week with the Florida Gators as well. So I'm 80, 67, and 2. Had a good week last week, 5, 2, and 1. I'll take that any day, plus 8.76 units. I'm Maloney, but still bringing some winners here. Not always. Now that I had a winning week, who knows what the fuck is going to happen. So last week I had the Saints minus 6.5. They lose outright to Philly. Jalen Hurts comes in, gets his first start of the year. He gets the win. I'm going to call it the Brew Party bump. That's what I'm going to call that, because that was our topic last week with Sporty Jordy, Eagles super fan, all about Jalen Hurts and the quarterback battle he's had with Carson Wentz and the Eagles, and they end up winning. So, of course, that comes back to bite me in the ass. The first time in the last 2 years that the Saints have failed to cover or win without Drew Brees as their quarterback. So then the Browns +2, one of the worst beats of all time. And that +2 wouldn't have hit anyways because they were down 3 with when the safety happened. But I did have separately, I had them +3.5 because I was riding with Brew. That was very, very brutal beat. Not a good Monday night. You can't talk about that Monday Night Football if we don't talk about Lamar Jackson. Let's get into that for 1 second. So Lamar's explosive Monday night. He had to poop, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way. He was having an amazing game. So if you look at his stat line, he was 11 for 17, 163 yards and a touchdown through the air. I mean, that doesn't jump out the page at you, but that's not a bad day. It's what he did on the ground is 9 carries for 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. Just the Browns defense could not stop him. Baker Mayfield also had a pretty good game, 28 for 47, 343 yards, 2 touchdowns, the interception. I mean, the interception sucked, but he didn't lose them this game. He brought them back from down 14, put them ahead with a minute to go. You really got to put this on the defense. But if you talk about Lamar, you're going to tell me this guy didn't have to poop?
Is questionable. The backup, Trace McSorley, was over here warming up. He is now in the game under center.
That is a poop run if I've ever seen it. Come on.
He even gave a little, get the hell out of the way.
You're lying. He said after the game, I didn't pull a Paul Pierce. He seemed like he was a pretty good sport about it. There were quite a few jokes made about it on Twitter, but I mean, then Trace McSorley enters the game. There was a touchdown pass to Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown actually dropped like 3 or 4 first downs earlier on that drive, kind of made up for it there with that long touchdown. Then McSorley gets injured. He goes to IR. So now Lamar is the only quarterback that's healthy on the Ravens roster. Let's hope that he can stay healthy, doesn't get any more cramps the next game. But that was an all-time Twitter night after that Monday Night Football game, or during that Monday Night Football game. The whole time, as soon as everybody figured out that he was taking a shit. Oh my goodness. So another upsetting thing from this weekend that we can get into is your Florida Gators. So they get upset by the LSU Tigers. Go Tigers on an unfortunate, unsportsmanlike penalty. Who throws a shoe, Ryan?
I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sucks. Didn't really feel great about the game since like the first half. They were leading a lot of the game, and it didn't really seem like we were getting anywhere. Like we would score and then they'd score again. I don't know. It just had bad news written all over it. And I knew going in the second half that it was going to come down to it. And it really shouldn't have. We're at home, 24-point favorites. And, you got to beat that team with everything lying ahead of you next week or this week now. But, I didn't expect Florida to go into the conference championship and, easily beat Bama. That's obviously a very, very difficult task to get done. But when you lose to an unranked, very bad LSU team at home, it just kind of ruins your chances at all. I mean, we can get to the committee, but I don't think even if they win, like, there's no chance of them making the playoffs. You can't put them in with 2 losses when there's other teams that have been playing just as good, if not better, with 1 loss.
Right.
So.
Absolutely. I definitely have something to say about that. Let's get to this video and show you how the Florida Gators' chances were ruined in this game.
They're making a lot of noise. Approaching 2 minutes to go. In the flat. Can Cole Taylor get there? No, nowhere near the line to make. Tried to go up and over and could not escape from Marco Wilson and Trevez Johnson. Is there a flag down? We have no chance of seeing that from our booth in this fog.
He had 3 routes that would have been first down distance. He dumped it off. So it was an aggressive call.
I think what the penalty is going to be because one of the Florida defensive players ripped off the cleat of 87 and threw it down the field.
Oh, wow. Mo. Oh, wow.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 11 of the defense, throwing the LSU player's shoe 20 yards down the field. That's his first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game. Automatic first down.
I don't think I've ever heard an official announce throwing a player's shoe.
Well,
and it wasn't 11. It was Marco Wilson.
So that is an all-time line from a referee. Personal foul, throwing an opponent's shoe 20 yards down the field.
He didn't know what to say. He was just like, he threw a shoe. Like
Marco Wilson ruins his team's chances at potentially the college football playoff. Obviously, they would have had to go beat Bama in the SEC championship game. But here's what I have to say about the college football rankings. I'm going to go on a little rant here for a second.
Yeah, go for it. It's rightfully so.
It is absolutely ridiculous that Iowa State is ranked number 6 right now. Mm-hmm. This is no shade on the Cyclones. They're playing great football. But in what world do we have 2 lost teams ahead of an undefeated Cincinnati, an undefeated Coastal Carolina? Iowa State is 13 spots ahead of number 19, Louisiana Lafayette, who went into Ames, beat Iowa State at Iowa State by 17 points. Why does that not matter, College Football Playoff Committee? Why do the games not matter? There's no fucking reason that this 2-loss team should be over these undefeated guys. And then Coastal Carolina beat Louisiana Lafayette. They're 6 spots behind, the Cyclones. And then Cincinnati has beat everybody, has won every game by 14 or more besides 1. They're beating the shit out of their conference opponents in the AAC. I know you say, it's not a Power 5, but I mean, Houston, Memphis, UCF, SMU, let's not act like these are bad football programs. The Sun Belt has been one of the most fun conferences to watch in college football this year. It is absolutely ridiculous that Iowa State is at 6 and over those teams. Start showing some more respect for the G5. These teams, like especially Cincinnati. I get the Coastal Carolina and the ULL. They're in the Sun Belt. I know I just said it's been one of the most fun conferences to watch, but still, it come on. Like, are you guys even watching the games, or is this all about money? Absolutely, it is. The games should matter. The games should absolutely matter. It's just ridiculous that they are 13 spots ahead of a team that beat them by 17 on their home field. Get the fuck out of here, College Football Playoff Committee. I mean, we don't even need to get in the Ohio State thing. I'm okay with them being in just because I feel like they are a good team. The 5 games or 6 games they'll play after the conference championship is suspect, but I'll take it. I guess, it does remain to be seen what's going to happen. I think there might be some COVID concerns in the Ohio State program right now, but fuck you, College Football Playoff Committee. I mean, if you're the G5, why not just go make a tournament of your own?
Yeah, and I mean,
why not?
It's like it really is making it so that the games don't matter, losses don't matter. It's like they're looking at these teams and just saying, well, they're a better team, so they should be ahead of them. But they lost to this other team who's lower. So it's like this. It's almost to the point where the season doesn't matter. They're going to put in whoever they want to put in, who they think is the best team.
Yeah, why rank anybody then?
Yeah, exactly.
Just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, and let's not act like the Big 12 is supposed to scare you this year. All of them have at least 2 losses, I think, or maybe 1 at the most, but I think they all have 2 losses, so they're not going to get in anyway. So if Iowa State does beat Oklahoma this weekend, they'll get a New Year's Six bowl, I guess, which I'm okay with. I do think Iowa State is a good team, but you can't have the 2 losses on your resume and get in the college football playoff. That's ridiculous. Or be ranked this much higher ahead of those teams. I get it. It is one of the best years that Iowa State has had in quite a while. And I don't want to sound like an Iowa State hater because they are a fun football team. They are a good team, but the 2 losses there at 6 is just ridiculous to me. Absolutely ridiculous to me. Let's move on, though. I never really got into my records because we kind of got on that rant about the Lamar poop. But the final verdict there, his explosive night, awesome game. He comes in and he wins them the game after Trace McSorley gets hurt. That was awesome, but he definitely went in there and shit his pants. He said he didn't pull a Paul Pierce. I'm not buying it, Ryan. Back to my record. So I'm 80, 67, and 2. If we dive a little bit deeper like we did for Ryan quite a few minutes ago after we got off on that tangent. So my favorites are 10 and 9. My underdogs are 10 and 9. Overs are 10 and 9. Unders are 9 and 10. My locks of the week are 11 and 8. I'm 32, 22, and 2 with my other picks. College football, I was 3-0, but I still sit at 18, 19, and 1. And then NFL, I'm 37, 34, and 1. So like I said, I'm not as good as my guy Ryan here. He gets the looks and the best picks. But what are you going to do? I just get to host the show and be graced by his presence every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time on YouTube, Periscope, or Facebook. Make sure you go like the Brew Party. Subscribe to us on all of those. So let's get into our picks for this weekend, Ryan. Let's jump right into it. You always get to start us off, so we're going to let that trend keep going. Give me your favorite of the week.
All right, I'm going Coastal Carolina -2.5 versus Louisiana Lafayette. We just got done talking about these 2 teams. I think they both should be ranked higher. But I think it's going to be a great game, another conference championship to watch out for. But I like 2.5 points because I think it could come down to, win by a field goal. So, I like that pick, Coastal -2.5.
Absolutely. I like that pick too. We did just talk about them. I think that's going to be an awesome game, one to tune into. I think most of the G5 conference championship games are going to be pretty fun to watch. Coastal -2.5 versus ULL -122. I think that line might have moved up to 3. But Ryan, we got it on Thursday at -2.5. So good for you, buddy. My favorite of the week. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Bills -6 versus the Denver Broncos. -108 is the juice on there. Bills coming off that win over the the Pittsburgh Steelers. What was it, 26-15, I believe. They dominated the game. They looked like the better team from start to finish. We saw Josh Allen in the tunnel, got his team fired up. I don't know if you saw the video, but Juju Smith-Schuster likes to do his TikToks before every game where he dances on the field like a fucking loser. The Bills didn't really enjoy him dancing on their logo. Josh said, let them do the dancing shit. We'll do the talking on the field. And they did their talking. The Bills looked awesome. I'm looking for them to continue that trend here this week. They are 8-5 against the spread this year, but the Broncos are also 8-5 against the spread this year. You never know what's going to happen, but I'm going to ride it. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Ryan, let's go to our Scooby-Doo underdog of the week. And since you are 12-7. Can't ever seem to fucking miss on those. I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I'm going Notre Dame plus 10.5 versus Clemson. This line does not make any sense to me. Notre Dame beat Clemson outright in the regular season. I know Clemson had their backup. I'm not even going to try to say his name. Ugalele. I don't know.
Ugalele.
But, yeah. And he played pretty phenomenal in that game. So I don't really understand why just the addition of Trevor Lawrence, who, don't get me wrong, is a phenomenal quarterback, but 10.5 points is pretty insane for a matchup that Notre Dame already won this year.
Absolutely. So I'm riding on that too, dude. Plus 10.5. This, I don't know if we're missing something here, but this just doesn't make sense. I mean, you mentioned DJ Ugalele. He was 29 for 44 for 439 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. What the fuck is Trevor Lawrence going to come in and do different? Is he going to throw for 500? The defense gave up 47 points to Notre Dame the last game. What where are you getting this line from? I know Vegas always knows fucking way more than I do, but this just does not make sense to me. I'm hammering Notre Dame plus 10.5. Might sprinkle a little on the money line as well, Ryan. Ooh. So let's go Irish plus 10.5 versus Clemson. You never know, because if Notre Dame wins, Clemson's chances of the playoff probably done. Clemson wins, they both could get in. So very interesting. The ACC championship is going to be. Let's move on to our overs of the week, Ryan.
All right, I'm going Panthers, Packers over 51.5. I don't really know what to say other than, Green Bay puts up a lot of points. Carolina's not terrible. So I think 51 is definitely doable.
Shocker. That's my over of the week as well. I think you had it at 51.5. It did go down to 51. So I'm going to take.
Yeah, I'll take 51 then.
Take it at 51. But yeah, I mean, last week I had Green Bay and Detroit. I had the total at 55. It went exactly to 55, so that was my push. But I like this. Carolina's got a pretty explosive offense as well. Green Bay, I think they might be the number one offense in the NFL right now. So I will take just about any Green Bay over. I actually have the numbers here really quick. Bad radio. So Green Bay. Okay, they're 7-6 in overs, and then Carolina. Oh God. Bad radio. Carolina's also 7-6. So I'll take my chances. They're plus one in the over department there. So Green Bay, Carolina over 51. That is going to be my over the week, and also Ryan's over the week. So we're double dipping on a couple picks here, but sometimes they're just too enticing. You can't not take it. So let's go to our unders of the week. I have 3 unders this week, Ryan. I hate myself.
All right, well, my under is going to be the Colts-Texans under 50.5. I mean, Texans, and obviously the Bears, a very good defense. Texans just put up 7 points against the Bears, and they're about to face questionably maybe even a better defense in the Colts. So I definitely like my chances with 50.5 points with Indianapolis and Houston.
Absolutely. So Indy's been trending. A lot of their games have been trending over recently. They're 8-5 this year. The overs are in Indianapolis games, so that's something to watch. But also, this is a division matchup. These teams do not like each other. Indianapolis did have a pretty good success last week running the ball. I think that could be a theme in this game as well. And then we all know what Houston did last week, only putting up 7 points. Speaking of that, I got shit on Twitter for sarcastically fucking retweeting a throw about one of Mitch's throws where he went sidearm. He said, if Patrick Mahomes did this, ESPN would be all over it. I want to give a disclaimer before you fucking hop in my mentions and tell me, worry about winning. Let me have fun. My team won by fucking 29. We were on a 6-game losing streak. Like, let us fucking have something. We're still in the hunt. Like, do I think we're going to fucking win out and go to the playoffs? I don't know. I don't really think so. They're going to have to beat the Packers and Minnesota. So there's a lot of things here, but it was just crazy, dude. It's like if you see me tweeting something or retweeting something about Mitch, most of the time I'm fucking laughing and sarcastic because I want him to do well. I genuinely root for him.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of times where he's been shit on so much where he does something good. I'd like to fucking, I mean, as a Bears fan what I'm talking about here, but
yeah, absolutely.
It's just like, dude, worry about winning, not what ESPN thinks about you. This is directly at you, Tim Weaver, but come the fuck on, dude. Like, let me enjoy my fucking team's 29-point win. They did win, so I'm not worried about that. All right, enough of that. My second rant of this fucking Maloney's money line. So Cleveland and the Giants under 44.5 is going to be my first under, my official under of the week for this week. So the Giants have Freddie Kitchens calling their plays this week as he is their tight ends coach, not their offensive coordinator. Jason Garrett has tested positive for COVID-19. I don't know if Daniel Jones is starting or not. I think it is the Colt McCoy show again this week. Cleveland, they put up all of those points last week against Baltimore. I don't see them doing that again this week. I think they try to pound the rock and really work with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt because, the Giants defense is pretty good themselves. Some interesting numbers here as far as over-unders go. The Giants unders are 10-3 this year. So 10 out of the 13 games have gone under for the Giants. And then if we're looking at the Browns, they also haven't really gone over that much either, I don't believe. Dude, this is so bad. I meant to write this shit down. Well, actually, never mind. They're 8-5 going over. So I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to ride the Giants games being 3-10 for overs. So if we move on to our locks of the week, Ryan, you better lock it up.
Oh, I'm locking it up. I'm going with the Dolphins, baby. Fins up.
Fins up.
Dolphins minus 1.5 versus the Patriots. Dolphins are 10-3. I think they're the best team in the NFL against the spread this year. And I think they're definitely the better team against the Patriots, and I think they can definitely win by 2 points. So going back to the Fins, baby.
Yeah, they are the league best 10-3 against the spread this year. If you would have told me that before the season, I probably would have told you to go fuck yourself. That's awesome. They've been so fun to watch, and I think that they win this game outright easily. I'll probably take Dolphins money line. I was considering putting that on my card, but like I said last week, I'm trying not to pick all the same games as you if there's any chance of me catching up at all. So let's go to my lock of the week. The Kansas City Chiefs -3. They're going to New Orleans. So I don't love that, but I think Drew Brees is active this week, but who knows what he's going to do, coming off all of those broken ribs, that rib injury that seemed pretty bad. It's nice to see him back healthy. Who knows if he actually is 100% healthy? What's he going to bring to the table? But the Chiefs are a freight train right now. They're absolutely rolling. I think they're by far the best team in the league. So I'm going to take them to win by more than a field goal here. Chiefs -3 versus New Orleans Saints. And then let's move on to our general picks. We each have 3 general picks, and we will close out the show. Ryan, you go first.
All right. Before I make this pick, I also just wanted to say the Dolphins need to go back to their old uniforms permanently. They are just so much better. I love them. I love everything about them.
Yeah. You don't like the candy ass ones they have now, huh?
No, put the helmet back on the Dolphin.
Yeah, I love the helmet. Yes, absolutely. But the Dolphin needs a helmet.
No, but really, just like the color scheme and like the stripes on. I love the uniforms so much better.
They're so clean. I love those. I do like Miami's like all white look that they have. I think that's pretty nice. But anytime. I'm actually, so in Madden 19, I had a my career or whatever where I was drafted by the Dolphins, and I would wear those throwbacks any chance I got. So Those are definitely fire. But that's enough about me, Ryan. Let's get you my pick. It's college football. We are Marshall -4.5 versus UAB -112. I know Marshall had a very disappointing loss against Rice a couple weeks ago where they were favored by, I think, 24. Their quarterback, Grayson Wells, threw 5 interceptions and had the worst game of his career. It's pretty hard to be worse than that. UAB, their last game, they actually beat Rice, but that was their first game since October 31st. And Marshall does lead this all-time series. I think the last time they played was 2014, and Marshall won like 27-17 or around there. Don't quote me on that. But Marshall's been really good all year. They only have the one loss to Rice. That was really the only time that they haven't looked good. I'm going to take this -4.5 because I don't think it's enough points. I think they can easily beat UAB by a touchdown, especially here in Conference USA championship setting where they are trying to win, I believe, only their second ever Conference USA championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Go Thundering Herd.
I definitely skipped over your pick though, so give me.
Well, I kind of went off on the Dolphins uniform tangent.
It's all right. We're doing tangents this week on week 20 of.
We're getting all of our feelings out.
Yeah.
Speaking of feelings, yeah, my first pick, I'm going Florida +17.5 versus Bama. I mean, it's a lot of points. I know it's probably correct. I don't think Florida's going to come in and beat Bama. I'm still going to hope that they do. But, you know, clearly I've said it last week. I've probably said it multiple times. Bama's clearly the best team in the NCAA this year. But I just think 17.5 is a lot for the SEC championship game, especially Florida coming off of a very bad beat. They're obviously going to treat this like it's the national championship because I think the only shot of them making the college football playoff is if they beat Bama by like 50 points, which is not going to happen. So
yeah, like I said, it's the 2 losses, man. It sucks, but you just you can't put them in over the guys that have one or undefeated teams. So I mean, I'll be rooting for Florida with you. I'd like to see them upset Bama, even though even if Florida won, I still think Bama gets in.
Yeah, definitely.
But it just I'd like to see Kyle Trask have a game. Let's say that I'd like to see him have a very good game. And I don't have anything against Mac Jones. I mean, he's been awesome this year, but I do think I'm going to get heat for this. But he's more of a product of the system. He has I don't want to say a lot better athletes, but I mean, look at the talent he has around him. I would say it's a little bit better than what Trask has around him, but that's neither here nor there because, I mean, it doesn't matter. I think like you nailed it, Ryan. Bama is the best team in the country. As far as the playoff goes, I'd really like to see Bama and Notre Dame again. I think Notre Dame's defense might be better than Bama's, but offensively, it's really hard to stop the Crimson Tide. So we'll see about that. My next pick, like I said, I have 3 unders this week. Big 10 unders, baby. Nebraska, Rutgers. Under 54, -110. I'm pretty sure Rutgers quarterback Noah Vedral got hurt last week in their game. I'm not sure if he's active or not for this game. So I'm gonna if it's Artur Satowski, I've seen him play multiple times. I'm gonna hammer the under. Nebraska also hasn't been great this year at going over. I think only one of their games have gone over. I need to check that really quick. But I have it right here because they're at the bottom of this list. Yeah, they're unders in this game. Unders in Nebraska games are 6-1 this season. So I'm going to ride that trend, especially against a team like Rutgers, non-traditional powerhouse. I know, sing me a song, the Shiano Man, but he needs another year to build that up. So let's hope this one goes under. Nebraska, Rutgers under 54 -110 odds. Ryan, what's your next pick?
All right. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Taking your pick as well. Bills -6 at Denver. I always get a little nervous picking teams going into Denver. You know, it's a tough place to play, but, you know, as we've seen, the Bills are definitely one of the top teams in the NFL. So I think they can definitely win this by a touchdown.
Absolutely. I think they are on a tear right now. They need to prove that they are a legit contender. Josh Allen, dark horse MVP.
I would love to
Candidate
see it.
here. I love to see it. Rocket arm. He's tall and he looks good in shorts, folks. Said it all along. So Ryan going with the Buffalo Bills. Bills Mafia stand up -6 versus Denver. We both have that featured on our cards this weekend. So my second to last pick, or wait, no. This is my last pick. I apologize. Arizona and Philly under 49. We just saw Jalen Hurts. He played great last week against the Saints. That total still went under, I believe, because it was like 24-20 or around that score. Shockingly, Arizona unders in those games have been hitting at a pretty good frequency this year. If I have the numbers right here, their unders are 9-4 in Cardinals games this year. So I think that's definitely a trend to watch. And then if you look on the other side at Philly, they haven't been great offensively either. As unders in their games are, God, I should have written this down before, Ryan. God, I'm so bad. What the Philadelphia, they're 8-5 unders in their games. I cannot believe I didn't write this down before this. I apologize to anybody listening or watching. Unprofessional of me. Bad. That was embarrassing. I shouldn't have done that. Comments. We have a listener comment here. Chirp, baby. I missed that one earlier. I apologize, Grant. Do we have a Brew Boy Thursday night football pick? Yes, we do. It'll be a little bit late. We're about to finish up here, Grant, and I will get that done, get that posted for us. Look out for Brew. He was on a very cold streak. He had a 3-game losing streak. He did have the Browns on Monday night. Just an awful beat for Brew. So hopefully he can turn it around. I don't know what he's going to do if he's going to go with Creed Bow and Trey and Raid, or if he is going to go with the dumbass Anthony Lynn and the Chargers tonight. Ryan, give me your last pick and we'll close this one out here.
All right, I'm going the Washington football team +5.5 versus Seattle. Almost took Seattle at first, and then I changed it because, I've obviously been better with underdogs this year, and also Washington is one of the better teams against the spread. I think they're 8-5, and Seattle has not looked great this year. They've looked good, but like recently, they've been kind of trending down. Lost to the Giants a couple weeks ago, so I like this game a lot. Washington football team, let's go.
Yeah, let's go football team. NFC Beast. Yeah, you were right. So the football team's 8-5 against the spread. Seattle's 7-6, but they never play a normal football game. The Seattle Seahawks never play a normal game. This will be interesting. I kind of like the football team in this as well. Probably bet that privately, but let's go, man. Let's get some more winners. We were 10-5-1 last week. We have our record now sits at 166, 127-4, plus 28.38 units. 20 weeks in, baby. Let's do it. Let's get to we can't get to 200 this week, but let's go 16-0, Ryan. How about it?
Oh, I love it.
You better lock it up. This has been Maloney's Moneyline, week number 20 on the Brew Party podcast. I'm Andy Hopper. He's Ryan Maloney. Please check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/brewparty. Throw us a like, subscribe. We need to build our subscriber base up there. Throw us a like and follow on Facebook at the Brew Party Podcast. We are on Twitter and Instagram as well. We'd love if you follow us there as well. That is where we post all of our video clips. We post our pictures and our picks for Maloney's Moneyline, and then we track those picks on Twitter. We give you all the results, update our records for you so you can follow along with us if you are fading or tailing us. Either way, just listen to the podcast. Check us out on YouTube. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Pandora, anywhere you get your podcasts, we're there, or www.thebrewparty.com. Lovie Smith got fired this week, folks. I know I mentioned it with the Illini basketball podcast yesterday, but I'd love to see Lance Leipold. I'd love to see the guy from Kent State. Brett Bielema, I don't really want him here. If that is the case, I won't be there. We could do a lot worse, but I'd rather go with a young guy, and I'm not really, I guess, unproven. I mean, Lance Leipold at Buffalo, man, he's 23-9 or in his career. I know it's in the MAC, but that's hard to ignore. They're averaging 51 points a game this year. I don't care what conference you're playing in. That's pretty awesome. I don't know, or go after a coordinator at one of a big Power 5 school. I don't know. We'll see. But this has been Maloney's Moneyline, week number 20. We're out of here.